Gaurav, the destruction has been massive, especially in Vishakapatnam district, and if the pictures from Vizag airport are anything to go by, the city has really suffered as a result of Cyclone Hudhud. In fact, on this special broadcast of Up South, we'll bring you a 360 degrees on what the city of destiny, Vishakapatnam, has been reduced to as a result of 12 hours of virtual madness in Vishakapatnam. And in fact, our reporters have been bringing you all the shots, all the dramatic images. And as you can see in those shots, Vishakapatnam reduced to a city of complete rubble. If there is one picture that told the story of what happened in Vishakapatnam, it was that of Vizag airport, completely destroyed, virtually reduced to rubble. That has really been the story of the destruction left by Cyclone Hudhud. In fact, though the runway can be made operational pretty soon, the kind of condition that the city airport is, it cannot be open to passenger traffic in a hurry. And that is what is forcing Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other officials of the Andhra Pradesh government to actually use Rajamundry airport as a base for relief operations. In fact, he will be taking an aerial survey of Vizag airport at 1:15 p.m. tomorrow.
The railway station, bus stand and airport, you see the airport, how nothing is there in the top of the airport. Not only the water is there, like that all places are like that. I think we are trying to rectify as early as possible.
What was once the beautiful Vishakapatnam airport, now all in shambles because of Cyclone Hudhud, literally wreaked havoc in the airport. It does not even look like an airport right now. All billboards, scrap metal fallen, looks like a scrap house. In fact, if you can see broken glass on the floor everywhere around, the corrugated tin roof just falling out of place, the airport now all dilapidated, absolutely unbelievable. People just cannot believe that the airport is looking like this. The runway, we are told, is really flooded. Now this Vishakapatnam airport sees about 800 to 900 people coming in and out of the airport every day, and about 18 to 19 flights flying in and out of Vishakapatnam airport every day. But with this kind of destruction, officials are not very sure when rebuilding and construction can happen and Vishakapatnam airport will be again functional. With camera person Manohar Reddy, Ratnika Sharma in Vishakapatnam for Headlines Today.
Right, those images will be extremely distressing and depressing for anyone who has been part of that city of destiny, a wonderful city of Vishakapatnam, and the airport there reduced to complete rubble. Joining me now from the Ramakrishna beach in Vishakapatnam is my colleague Ratnika Sharma, who has been bringing us those images from Vizag. Ratnika, even the Ramakrishna beach, which is really one of the landmarks of that city, a lot of destruction taking place. What is the sense that you're getting from the people there now that they are venturing out and seeing the damage? What are they telling you?
Well, so the basic reaction that everybody really is giving is the fact that nobody in Vishakapatnam had ever expected such a cyclone of such an extent, such severity. In fact, everybody is so shocked, and apart from coming out of really the shock of the fact that the cyclone hit so badly at Vishakapatnam, people are also trying to rebuild their lives from scratch, because a lot of them houses have broken, trees uprooted, they fell all around outside their houses. Very difficult for them to really come out of that feeling. If I can, I have a lot of people here. If I can ask you, sir, how, I mean, something like this has never happened in Vishakapatnam. How really are you coping with this?
ఇది ప్రకృతి వైపరీత్యం అంటున్నారు. ప్రకృతి వైపరీత్యం అంటే మొత్తం పూర్తిగా వైజాగ్ అంతా ఎప్పుడు కని విని ఎరుగున్నది. ఇది మొత్తం చెట్లు పడిపోవడం, పెద్ద పెద్ద చెట్లు పడిపోవడం, తర్వాత కరెంటు స్తంభాలు పడిపోవడం చాలా మేము చూడలేదు. నేను ఎరగను. అలాగే చాలా మంది
He's saying that he's never seen something like this. All the electric poles are falling down, trees falling down, trees really uprooting, and the roads being blocked. आपके घर में भी आप कह रहे थे पानी घुसा है, कांच टूटा है. आप थोड़ा बताएंगे.
कांच टूटा है, घर का अंदर पानी आया है और सिटी में करंट सप्लाई नहीं है. गवर्नमेंट में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, पानी का सप्लाई नहीं.
देखिए, लगा नहीं शहर में, मतलब इतना अजीब सा तहस नहस हो गया था पूरा शहर. आपको कैसा दुख नहीं हुआ?
काफी सारा दुख हुआ है.
Right, I think we have lost that link with Ratnika Sharma, who was coming live from the Ramakrishna beach there in Vishakapatnam. People telling us about the kind of damage that has been caused. No power supply, no fuel. Bhimunipatnam, in fact, was the area where Cyclone Hudhud made the area. This is landfall. This is about a few kilometers north of Vishakapatnam. And the locals in that coastal town of Bhimunipatnam are in despair as their sole mode of survival, their boats have been severely damaged. In fact, my colleague Jugal Purohit was one of the first journalists to actually go to Bhimunipatnam and file this report.
Lot of damage has been occurred. We are damaged. All the platform roofs has been damaged, and the tracks, sometimes tracks damaged. This electrical system and all cam slide has been broken, and here telephone system also broken. And we are planning one special passenger who have been stranded here for this Calcutta and Bhubaneswar. Some patients and child and ladies are there, so we are planning for them to run a special. But it is under examination, so it will decide later on only.
Right. In fact, Bhimunipatnam, as I was saying, was one of the areas which has suffered the maximum damage as a result of Cyclone Hudhud. This is just about a few kilometers north of Vishakapatnam, and this is a fishing hamlet, and obviously most of those boats in Bhimunipatnam have been completely destroyed, leaving the fishermen who have been in fact not going to the sea for the last 72 hours extremely distressed. Let's get this report which has been filed by my colleague Jugal Purohit.
The people of Bhimunipatnam tell us that they had never seen or expected the kind of intensity with which Cyclone Hudhud actually impacted their lives. The kind of damage that has taken place is there on your screens to understand, assess. But what they're now saying is that now that the cyclone has hit them and has caused, or rather wreaked havoc in their lives, they've not seen till now anyone from the administration come to meet them after that or provide them with any support. But that doesn't stop them from expecting them.
Right, that was Jugal Purohit reporting from Bhimunipatnam. In fact, most of the areas in and around Vishakapatnam have been severely affected. We are told that 70% of the power supply has been completely damaged in Vishakapatnam town itself. In fact, 40,000 electric poles have been ordered by the local administration, and in fact 2,000 of them have already been supplied in Vishakapatnam. Ratnika Sharma is back with us from Vishakapatnam. She's at the Ramakrishna beach there in that city. Ratnika, the fact that petrol bunks are actually out of supply, there is no petrol, there is no fuel. In fact, there has been a mad rush at the petrol bunks. Mobile phones and even landlines are not working. How soon do you think Vishakapatnam is in a position to actually limp back to some state of normalcy?
Well, according to the urban minister that I was speaking today, he said that by afternoon the roads would be cleared, which is also the case you've been seeing. I've been going around the city and I've seen there are a lot of roads have been cleared of the trees and of the debris that the cyclone had really thrown at Vishakapatnam city. But he also said that by evening perhaps the water problem will be solved, and by tomorrow the mobile phone and the electricity will be back in place. So he's hoping that in about 2-3 days Vishakapatnam should get back on track and really. But the really problem here, Sudhir, is that a lot of people have lost property, and they're trying to really rebuild it from scratch, and
right.
The whole fact that they have no water, etc., is really causing a lot of problem. I have a resident of Vishakapatnam here. So your son was really waiting at the petrol pump today all day long to get petrol. Yes. What is really the condition?
Condition is that there are a lot of vehicles stranded at the petrol bunk, and they were really vying with each other for getting the liter of petrol, but they're not able to get it. And a lot of people had come with cans and bottles, but they're not able to get it because they said that it's mandatory that they have to fill it only in the tank. So that's the problem over there. And on the roads we see all trees strewn over everywhere. All the transportation, everything is affected.
Also, if I may ask you, you've been seeing, Vishakapatnam has never really seen something like this. What's the kind of feeling looking at the city all devastated?
Yeah, ma'am, it feels really very sad to see that such a nice city, which has been one of the most beautiful cities in the country, have been truly devastated. Actually, I stay on the beach road just in front of the Uda Park, which is one of the signature parks of Vizag. And it is really very heartening to see that all the trees have been uprooted and everything is destroyed. Kailasgiri, Uda Park, everything has been destroyed. And on the
right.
beach front, entire stretch of the beach road
road, a lot of hotels and all those tourist areas, that has been destroyed.
So the feeling really here is the fact that Vizagads are really sad to see, you know, a lot of these famous places, places that they would hang out at, destroyed and gone, and something that has to be built from scratch. Back to you, Sudhir.
Absolutely, Ratnika. There was very emotional voices there from the residents of Vishakapatnam. Jugal, you have covered Cyclone Phylane. You have been to Uttarakhand where a huge tragedy took place. Now that you see the kind of devastation that has been caused in and around Vishakapatnam, what's the sense you get? The NDRF chief actually saying that some place like Vishakapatnam will have to be built from scratch. What is the sense you get of the amount of destruction that the cyclone has left behind?
Well, Sudhir, if one has to actually analyze the kind of trend that we've been seeing in natural disasters and their impact, gone are the days when there would be a super cyclone like the one we had in 1999 and entire settlements and people would be wiped off. What is now happening as a result of good early warning and detection systems that our Indian Meteorological Department has had in fact deployed towards Phylane and even for Hudhud is that now you're able to at least understand and save lives. But the problem or the flip side of it is that people who've been saved, they're coming back to their places, they're finding them completely broken, distraught, all documents, property is gone completely, mode of occupation, survival, it's all gone. And now, those very people who you've saved are angry, they are hungry, they want food, they want the government to be seen. I'll just tell you, Sudhir, today we were in Visakhapatnam, which is as close as you can get to the site where the landfall actually took place. And the NDRF team was there. They were actually cutting through different trees which had blocked the road. Once those trees were out, we actually expected, and so did the people, that the government will be able to come in with supplies and, you know, actually take stock of the situation. But for almost 2.5, 3 hours we waited. Nobody actually came, and the people are saying that here we are, we've been saved, but there is no food, there's no water, nothing to eat and drink.
Right, Jugal. Jugal, just hold on that thought. We will come back to you. We'll take a short break and we'll continue with our live and continuous coverage of the day after Cyclone Hudhud and the kind of devastation that it has caused in north coastal Andhra Pradesh and especially the city of Vishakapatnam. That's after a very short break.
हमारा घर पूरा बर्बाद हो गया, पूरे ग्लासेस सब A to Z डैमेज हो गया, हमारा और एक घर भी पूरा कंप्लीट उसका ये टूट गया,
बहुत शीशा पूरा खिड़कियां टूट गए, पूरे हमारे फोटोआं सब गिर गए और पूरा बर्बाद हो गया घर पूरा।
बड़ी बुरी तरह कल की हालत थी भाई, मैं क्या बताऊं। हम लोग ख्वाहिश के लिए एक सी बीच के सामने घर लेंगे बोल के लिए 3 साल से लिए, लेकिन कल पूरा घर बर्बाद हो गया। खुदा ने हमें बस बचा लिया, बस इतना ही काफ़ी है, बच गए। बहुत बर्बाद, बहुत घर के अंदर का पूरा इंटीरियर खराब हो गया, बस पूरी बिल्डिंग भी थरथराने लगी, पूरे सब हम लोग उतर गए थे नीचे, बड़े मुश्किल से बच के निकले हैं हम लोग।
This one is about the worst I've ever been in.
It was more worse.
Yes, this one was worse, and the people took very good care of us here. They were very good to us, kept us safe.
This is my first time experiencing a cyclone. I experienced it along with Tim here. We were hunkered down in the basement of our hotel at Novotel. Very, very impressive severe winds.
Now, in comparison with Andhra Pradesh, Cyclone Hudhud did not leave a trail of destruction in neighbouring Orissa. In fact, my colleague Manogya Loiwal has been camping in Gopalpur and reporting live on Cyclone Hudhud and its impact there in southern Orissa. Manogya, is life returning to normal, though there was a flood alert by the IMD yesterday?
Well, Sudhir, the live alert as far as the flood continues, given the fact that it has been raining incessantly since yesterday. The stormy winds continue to rock the areas of Malkangiri, Gajapati and Ganjam. And the biggest challenge for the state government, including the Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, would be how to tackle the flood-like situation in this area, especially given the fact that rivers like Riskulia will be adding to the water because of the continuous rainfall, and that's the biggest challenge for the state government, including the administration. We've been told that a lot of people who had left their homes for shelters and had also shifted to their locations to safer places, including their relatives' residences, are now coming back to their houses. Some of them destroyed, some of the thatched houses have been destroyed. But with all that, there has been the difficulty that the people feel that they have not faced the fury of nature the way they faced it last year, but this time it's Vishakapatnam. So finally, people of Orissa are empathizing with the neighbouring state on the given tragedy.
Right. Thanks a lot, Manogia, for bringing us all those updates from Gopalpur, Orissa, of course, being spared the fury of the cyclone this time. Time for a break. We'll continue with our continuous coverage on the day after Cyclone Hudhud, especially the destruction that it caused in Vishakapatnam. That's after a short break.